Hello, everybody. It's Alexandra, the medium. I wanted to go on today and talk a little bit about the Christ consciousness and how we all can, be the embodiment of that energy of the Christ consciousness, just by bringing that and calling it into us. We are all connected to it. Some people block themselves from it, not consciously, but maybe subconsciously. And I guess probably some people consciously, if they're not, interested in the energy of love and compassion and non-judgment, empathy, all of these things that are the Christ consciousness. Every soul that is on this planet came here for their own growth and to awaken this within them, since it is within each of us. And, we call it in through us so that we reconnect to it in a fuller way. We call it in, we call it in the energy in through our crown chakra and down into our third eye, our throat, our heart, our solar plexus, our sacral, our root chakra. And we call it into every cell of our bodies, through the blood, through the organs, through the bones. And we embody that energy as we call it into us, and we let it run through us. And as we do that, the more we do that, the more connected we are to this unconditional love. And it first starts with us, the awakening, that love within us, in this chaotic world that we're living in right now. We can get caught up in the negativity easily. Just, turn on your social media or the TV, listen to the news, and even, you're out in a crowd and you hear people talking about these things because it's everywhere, the chaos. But to be in the chaos, but to find yourself in the eye of the hurricane, you want to call this energy back to you. It actually comes through you, but it like awakens the part that's in you, that spark of the divine, when we call it in, so that we can, begin to share it with others, that love, that compassion, that beauty. I'm here in Utah right now, in such a beautiful place, at my son's home, visiting for a few weeks. And the thing that really comes to me about Utah, as I am in this beautiful place and the beautiful energy that's here, I really, as I'm thinking about the Christ consciousness and calling it into me, what came into me was the one thing I love about Utah. And I grew up in Utah and moved away 20 years ago. And, but as I come back here right now, I'm recognizing what is beautiful about the people here. And it is from their religion. And of course, I do not agree with all of their religion because I think there is some separation with that. But what I love, the thing that they teach that is the most beautiful thing, is community and family. And those connections are so important. And, and that's some of the stuff that Jesus did teach, okay, was to love our neighbors, and, and our families are so important, and they are. And having that connection is, what we do if we let Christ run through us and work through us. And those parts of the religion I do agree with. Any religion that teaches the community and the compassion and the love, that's what needs to come through all of us, regardless of the separation that religion does cause in many cases. Religion has caused more wars than anything. And doesn't have a lot to do with Jesus in those regards. Jesus wants us to be that vessel of the very best part of who we are, that it was like him, that consciousness of love, and caring about our neighbors. And I know I talked about this last week, but I just wanted to bring that up again in the sense of, I had a lot of people contact me and say, oh, I love the message, and it made me think that I should start sharing this. And I was like, yes, that's kind of what I was inspired to do, was just, let's start talking about what is good, what is possible, what is love, and when I share it and you share it and everyone begins sharing love and compassion, and non-judgment, when we sit in judgment, we're in ego. And that's kind of part of the thing that happens when we're getting rid of the ego and the Christ consciousness is trying to take over, is it'll pop up and we'll see ourselves in ego. And one thing, when I am calling it in, I'm recognizing, the letting go of the ego. And the more and more we connect to spirit and to this consciousness, we're letting go of that ego. And that ego is what separates every one of us, because in ego, we might be white and we might think that we are, this is the white supremacy thing I'm talking about. We might feel like, we got one up on everybody, which that's not what this is about. Jesus wasn't even white, and his consciousness is really what is love and peace and non-judgment and compassion and all the things that we can all be if we so choose. But one thing that I got to is that today that came in was how, it was about that separation, the separation that is the ego. When the ego was born, and this, according to the Bible, we left the Garden of Eden. And some people will say, well, I'm not interested in the Bible, and that's fine. But there are some beautiful metaphors in the Bible, and it's whatever belief that you have out there, which I have found, this may not be true for everyone, but when we have our hearts open to love and we can see the beauty in another, we can help them see the beauty in themselves, which usually is that spirit, that deep, their soul. When we look in their eyes and look deeply and we see the depth of who they really are, not this facade that we see in the masks that they carry, right? And sometimes that's hard because we can see it in them. That doesn't, especially for an empath or someone who looks in and sees that in another, it can be hard also because they may not see it yet. And so, they might show you the mask, which in many times can be, because it's ego related, it can be about betrayal and it can be about the things that could hurt you. So we have this double-edged sword. We want to see the beauty in them and not allow that ego part to attack us, which, does happen. So, and I don't know, I'm bringing this up because I'm thinking of certain situations in my life where I did see the beauty in someone and they ultimately showed me the darkness, which, that's okay too, because that has not much to do with me. All I have that I can do is see the beauty in them and love them for that. That does not mean that every person that I saw the beauty in, I can have in my life, because if someone is an ego and, has a different agenda than the one I have, which is to work, to bring through the Christ consciousness through me and help others do the same and awaken in this beautiful energy of love and compassion and, find myself. And, some people may call it source or the vortex. It's the same thing. And people and spirit, when we're really connected to spirit, we are loving and compassionate. And we don't have this judgment of everyone and everything. When we go in our everyday lives, we can jump back into those areas, but nothing changes until we do, until we change that, so that when we go out in our everyday lives, we continue to put out this loving energy that has no judgment, that we see the beauty in others and we show them that unconditional love. Because as that spreads, it continues. And if we talk about it more and we understand it more, then we're able to spread it more ourselves, And this is kind of my thing that I want to start channeling, is just these messages that I'm getting about this. And another thing that came in the channel this morning was how, because we are all made of energy. It's all we are. Our physical, our soul, it's all energy. And our experiences in this life, though, that we need to heal, our traumas and events in our lives, they're in our energy field. And so in this energy bubble, we may have, as we're channeling the love and the Christ consciousness or whatever beautiful thing that you're calling in, there are other things in our energetic body from our past beliefs, our past traumas, unless we've done some work on that. So I just want you to imagine, pulling this beautiful energy, and it is creation energy too. I really want to bring that up, is this energy of love and compassion is also creation energy, because we're connecting to that vortex, whether you look at it, like it's just the universe or God or Jesus or however, it's the vortex of creation. And it's like we can pull on those strings of creation that are dark or light. And it depends on where our vibration is at and what we want to see in the world, But what we carry around with us. And so as we understand this in ourselves, and why do we do energy work and healing is really part of this, being able to connect to this Christ consciousness spirit, this beautiful energy. We want to be letting go of that energy that's stuck in our field, that, is a trauma, that's a dark energy that's heavy for us. And so as we clear that out and we call in the Christ consciousness, it helps us clear that out, along with other things that we do energetically, that we can clear it out. But as we call in this Christ consciousness, the energy of creation, a love, all of these beautiful things, then we can share that. And our energy, as we, come around people, and we keep this spirit of running through us, this unconditional love, when people come around us, it's like it's shared. Energy is shared, right? When we're around other people and groups of people. And so it's contagious, it helps them awaken. The more that we can call this beautiful energy in, just call the Christ consciousness in through your body and ground it into the earth. And then we just let it run through us. And then we can share this with others just by being in their presence and, carrying that spirit of love, unconditional love. We're creating that new world that we so desperately want, heaven on earth. Many people want, I guess not everybody, but for those souls who this is important to, being connected to that love and compassion, those people would really resonate with this. Now, not everyone will, and that's okay. But I want to share it with those that will and that need this information for themselves. I'm going to tell you one little experience that I had recently, and I'd kind of been thrown by it for a few days. But it was a big lesson. So I'm going to share it with one who, in the past I'd had a relationship with. And we were just hanging out, and for the most part, it was okay. But this person had shared with me something in the past that they wanted to play their music, and with their music, they wanted to have it hit the solar plexus of those people who listen to it. And I was like, you're trying to control people to buy your music? It just threw me off, right? But I kind of let it go. I was trying not to judge. And this isn't about judgment. This is about awareness. Okay. So, but, he started playing his music that he's working on. And I was listening to it, and I was laying by the pool and I had my eyes closed, and I just I saw this darkness that had hit my solar plexus. And he had said this to me. I should go back up. He did not tell me this at the time when I was at his house. He had told me this a couple years ago, that he was doing this music and he wanted it to hit the solar plexus of everyone listening, but when I witnessed what I'm telling you now, I knew that he had sent me dark energy. So, I was like, I can't be around this. But so I'm laying by the pool, and I see in my mind's eye, my whole solar plexus is a dark circle. And before I'd even gone over to visit him, my stomach had started hurting, my solar plexus, and I just was like, what is going on? This is strange. And it just got worse and worse when I went over there. And then, so we were I just need to lay back. And at the same time, he keeps playing his music, which, I don't want to be rude. Everyone should enjoy their passion. That's fine. But the energy was hitting me, and I was having to do Reiki on myself and release and clean up this energy, and just clean it and clean it and clean it off of me. And so it really kind of threw me that somebody would do that, send me darkness that way, because, and I had noticed, and this is one of the reasons I wasn't around him anymore, is when I was around him, things would always get haywire. Things would always start breaking. Like, I'd lose money, deals. If I was selling real estate, there's many things like this. And so, but this, was obviously absolute proof that he sent me negative energy. And I always kind of suspected he might have been an energy vampire. And I think pretty sure that was true. So I just had to bring this out for anyone who might be going through that. So it's not like I'm saying, go give your energy away, let people drain you. That's what I'm saying. You have to share your love with boundaries. So in the sense that other people have different agendas in the world today. Obviously, we're in a spiritual battle, and it's seeing spiritual warfare personally, everyone, if you're aware and paying attention, because there's many people who are, sucking energy from light workers, or sending, dark energy in this case. And I feel like, I just want to make you aware of that. Keep your protections up, and, do the energy work if you need it. I had to do a lot on myself from this last soul experience, and it makes me think, we're in this warfare, we're trying to share this, not everyone, but, I know I am trying to share this unconditional love and compassion with the planet, and, the beings on this planet. And at the same time, we're, at battle. So I'll still send, and what I will do is I'll still send that person love and light. And, hopefully they will get to the place where they understand what they want. And maybe that's what they want. Maybe, and people are here to teach us to push ourselves further into this, I suppose, and to protect ourselves. And, maybe they are, trying to stop us, but it makes us stronger in our love and light. And that is why I do what I do. I want to help others, reach and heal those things that they need. I wanted to do a reading video today. However, for some reason, no one showed up on my YouTube. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I will do this video. So hopefully this has been a powerful video for you. And, just call that Christ consciousness in and start doing the work. Beautiful Healings with Steve Noble. Steve Noble, I think at the Soul Matrix. Check his stuff out, and he has a lot with the Christ consciousness, so they're very beautiful. I do support his work. It's been very profound in my life. So anyways, I'm sending you all unconditional love and light, and I will be in Utah for a couple of weeks. I'm going to try and do some more medium videos where I, maybe I'll try on Tuesday at a different time and see if we can't get some more healing done with the medium work that I do. I love you all. I'm grateful for all of you watching and sharing your love and light and the Christ consciousness with everyone. Have an amazing day, everybody. Appreciate you.